Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Liverpool versus Brentford live watch-along here on the LFC transfer room with myself, Louis Fell. As with most other watch-alongs nowadays, excited to be here after a slightly deflating week against Arsenal on Thursday. Disappointing 0-0 draw in the Carabao Cup. First leg, and that's the most important thing to remember. It's just the first leg. We've got a chance to go again on Thursday, and now is a perfect time to get our crap in order and start firing whilst the AFCON boys are away. I've got my tracksuit back on again. I feel like it brings us a little bit of luck. I feel like as soon as I stopped wearing it, we got a little bit worse. But thank you to everybody who's already in the stream. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the LFC Transfer Room. We have all your watch-alongs sorted for all the upcoming games, as well as transfer news, obviously, daily Liverpool news, and, of course, tactical analysis of all upcoming opposition. Thank you for being here. I'm excited. As you can see, the starting 11, if you haven't heard it already, two changes from the team that played in midweek, as Jones and Oxlade-Chamberlain both come into the side. It'll be interesting to see exactly where they're playing. Let me know that down in the comments as well. Let me know your opinion on the game, what your predictions are, who do you think is going to impress. Are you happy with the lineup? Would you have done it slightly differently? But it will be interesting to see, out of Jones and Ox, who's in midfield and who makes up that front three, because obviously both can play in both positions. Hello, Darren. Nice to see you again. Anthony as well. Darren's confident of a Liverpool win by the sounds of it, and Tarek as well. Lovely to see you too. Hopefully a big 3 points today, although the title race looks bleak. If City slips up, we've got to be ready. Exactly. As time stands, we've got 2 games in hand on them, so we've got to be, as you say, absolutely ready to pounce. Ultimately, we cannot really drop any more points this season. That's the level that we're competing at. So it all starts today. That's all we can focus on. What's happened already is done. And all we can do now is win every single game that we come up against. Feeling confident we would have opted for Taki over Ox, but nice lineup. I feel the same way. I'm gutted for Taki, really. I think, although he wasn't brilliant in the Arsenal game, the level of service from Milnerson in midfield, not many people could have done too much better with that. They were sideways passes all the time, and Taki didn't have too much to do. So I wish he'd have gotten the nod today, but hopefully he comes off the bench and can do something magical for us whilst, again, the AFCON boys are away. This is his best chance if he's going to prove himself in a Liverpool shirt. Carter, good to see you again, as well as Matthias. Watching Fixture and Coutinho score yesterday broke my heart. We were robbed of a magician and a true entertainer for the last few years that could have helped us win a few more trophies. Yeah, it was nice to see Coutinho score against Man U. I will say that. I'm glad he was able to do it for Steven Gerrard's team. Seeing them two together in a different team is certainly weird, but Villa quickly becoming sort of my second team at the moment. Matthias, how you doing, mate? I've had a good few days. Hopefully we'll win to cap off a good end of week for me. Come on, Liverpool. Well, I'm glad you've had a lovely, a good few days. And exactly, hopefully they can end this week on a high for all of us with just over 10 minutes left until kickoff. Knuckles would love to see Minamino play on his birthday today. Oh, is it his birthday as well? Oh, I'm gutted for him. I really wish he was in the starting lineup, but we move. Avi, good to see you as well. Cheers. Just waking up at 7:48 a.m. here in Plano, Texas. Good morning. Well, good morning to you, sir. And it's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you for the commitment, 7:48 a.m. Can't say that I was awake at 7:40 a.m. UK time today, but again, thank you very much for that. And Megan, good to see you. I was bitter about the way he left, but really happy to see him off to a good start at Villa. Yeah. And back under the guise of Steven Gerrard as well. I think it was quite poetic that they came together to ruin Man United's seemingly in the bag result. Thank you to everybody who's active in the comments and watching as well. Please do make sure that you subscribe, tick the bell notification as well. As you can see underneath me, we will be live again on Thursday for the Arsenal watch along, the second leg at the Emirates. the most important game so far of our season when it comes to silverware. So please make sure that you are around for that. It's going to be a ton of fun. Hopefully a lot more fun than the first leg. For those of you that were there with me, you know exactly how boring that was. Hyla, good afternoon to you as well. Looking forward to it. Matthias, lol, don't try your American accent again. I can do it better. There's a lot of pressure doing it on a live stream with people watching, you know. Do you show the match? We talk about the match. Again, if you've got a Twitter account, just search up what you're looking for and you might find it. That's what I tend to do. But stay around as well. If you've got more than one device or a tab, keep us open on one and we can watch the game together. The other game, of course, today is West Ham versus Leeds. That'll be an interesting one as well. West Ham pushing for top 4 football, Leeds trying to stay away from a relegation battle. Tarek says, I wonder if we are playing a 4-5-1 with Bobby behind Jota, Ox and Jones out wide. Yeah, well, I haven't been able to listen to the pre-match build-up in much detail. I don't know if Klopp has shone any light on that, but we'll find out pretty soon after we start the game. A lot of people are talking about a diamond, but ultimately that is a 4-3-3 that we play with a false 9. The false 9 drops and then the midfield becomes a diamond. So I wouldn't get too caught up on that. I think the most important thing is, you're right, seeing if it's more of a 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1, or if indeed Ox or Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Curtis Jones are in the midfield or out wide. That will be the most interesting thing. I'd really prefer to see Curtis Jones start in the midfield 3. I think he's a lot more dynamic and can do a lot more for us than being stuck out on the wing. Whereas Oxlade-Chamberlain, I don't think he can do much of either, if I'm being brutally honest. Carter says, I really think we should play Gordon. Apart from Jota, none of these guys are going to play the right wing position better. It's been interesting how much Klopp has spoken about Gordon, saying that he's constantly in his plans for the first 11 and the starting squad recently. So there's definitely a chance that we could see him today, but I just think you can't really start him in a game of this importance and not upset a lot of other first-team regulars. Hyla says Aston Villa paid £265,000 a week for Coutinho, but it seems they got quality for the investment. Well, you know, it was a tap-in. He played well, don't get me wrong. The goal was a tap-in, the easiest goal he's going to score. He's coming back into his old league, full of adrenaline, full of confidence from his manager. So we better think about waiting a few games, a few weeks to see exactly how well he readjusts. Matthias says Thursday I'll be in the pub, so I missed you Thursday. No problem. You haven't got to explain yourself to me. Anthony says, is Tony starting? It was a massive problem for the centre backs last time out. I believe he is starting. He will lead the line for Brentford, so something to occupy Matip and Van Dijk. Again, if you look to my right, your right, sorry, you'll see the substitutes bench. Again, not that strong. Our only real forward options are Gordon and Minamino. Neither of them, particularly instill confidence in you. So we really need to take charge of this game with the team that we have out there. We can't rely on a second half tactical tweak, really. We need to be getting into this lot quickly. Obviously, the last game was that massive 3-3. It was a brilliant game, but the fact that we didn't shut it out sooner was dreadful, and we ended it. It was 2 points dropped ultimately. Megan says Brentford are a 3-5-2, so that'll be interesting. Klopp spoke a lot about how there'll be a 5 at the back a lot of the time, and that seemed to upset a lot of people for some reason. I think people just take Klopp way too seriously and look into it too much just because they don't like him or Liverpool. There's not much we can do about that, but ultimately when they're not in possession, Brentford will revert to a 5, and depending on how well we play, they will just back themselves to sit in front of their 18-yard box and play that way. So it's quite true. Carter says, was at Brentford Villa a few weeks ago and COVID seemed to have hit Tony hard and he really didn't look at the races, so I'm hoping he won't cause as many issues as last time. I know, but big games, especially against Liverpool, it will bring out the best in a lot of those Brentford players that maybe we haven't seen for a few weeks against other teams. Hylas has never seen the Ox play a good game on the wing, so I hope he wakes up today. Brentford, pretty confident before this match. As I said earlier, I'm not confident with Ox at all. I just don't. That's why I particularly don't want him in the centre of midfield. I'd much prefer Jones to be there, because Jones is just more dynamic, can actually do stuff. Ox could easily ghost this game. I mean, I'm saying that he'll probably end up bloody scoring now, but I've lost faith in Oxlade-Chamberlain. I have done for a while now. I'll have a beer for you Thursday. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Hopefully, when you come back, it would have been worthwhile. Tarek says Tony and Mbueno playing up front together for Brentford today. So it could be a handful. Anthony rightly points out that our defence didn't have the best of games before them against them last time out. Certainly were a handful for Matip and Van Dijk. And Hyla says John Moss is the ref today, the pride of the Premier League. I hope they soon start to import foreign refs to the Premier League. They need a quality upgrade. I mean, I think the biggest thing with refs, it's not even that they are just bad at decision making, but I think, because I went to a non-league game yesterday, my local club, Hampton and Richmond, and bloody the ref gave one of the worst penalty decisions I've ever seen. And I'm not biased, because like I've never really heard of that club until a few weeks ago. So I'm not coming from a biased place. If it was for Liverpool, maybe, but just gave the worst. It was a non-incident, and the ref just blows and gave a penalty. And I think it just comes from refs thinking that they need to like make an impact on the game, when the referee should be the opposite. He should have no impact on the game. You just call the decisions as they come in. You shouldn't be looking to impact it somehow. But there's my little rant. John Moss, we're playing versus 12 men then. I still hold hope for Ox in the midfield position, but I'm baffled on why Klopp seems to insist he can play a more attacking role either in the false nine or on the wing. The fact that Klopp actually went in a press conference a few months ago and said that it's exciting because Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been training as a false nine, or looks like he can play it, that was a big worry for me. And that's when I knew we weren't going to sign anyone too early. Welshie's back with a blinder. Hale, gutted to see Shoot laid in attack again. Klopp shoehorns him in there and it never makes sense. Well, it's a case of shoehorning him into the game altogether, because I don't want him in midfield. It's a bit of a waste, especially when Curtis Jones is fit. As I said, it has to choose between both of them. I'd much rather have Curtis in midfield than Oxlade-Chamberlain, but that doesn't mean I want Oxlade-Chamberlain on our wing or near our starting 11, to be fair. Ox makes for a great sub if he comes on around the 70-minute mark, can really change the game, but starting I'm not too sure either. Yeah, exactly. He's better when, teams are tired or it's just like changing the emphasis a little bit, but starting the game, he's just not up to it at the moment and probably won't be. Coco, good to see you again. We can win this if we work tough. Well, here's hoping. It's a massive game, as I said, just as I came live. This is absolutely crucial. I imagine I am slightly behind some other people's streams, so we're literally coming up to 2 o'clock now. But for me, the players are lining up on the pitch, so they'll be shaking hands soon. So if you are miles ahead of me, feel free to pause your game, or please don't post any spoilers if some key things happen, such as goals, red cards, offsides, that kind of thing. Let's keep it fresh for everyone who's in the chat and on the same sort of time. Oh, so according to this stream that I'm watching, it is Oxlade-Chamberlain in midfield and Curtis Jones on the left wing. Come on, man. I don't like that, man. I don't like it. I don't want to be a negative Nancy just before we start, but that doesn't fill me with too much hope, too much joy. Nice one, Anthony. See you later, mate. I see you, Lucas. Let's face it, Klopp is working on a very restricted budget and he's trying to make the best of what he has. Yep, no doubt about that whatsoever. Once again, thank you to everybody who is here. Just before we do kick off, so you don't forget, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. We've just been getting bigger and better, especially in the live chat as well. So many familiar faces coming in, and you're more than welcome to join that. So if you hit the subscribe button, like this video as well, and you'll get notified, or you'll see all of our videos come up on your feed. Hit the bell button and you'll be notified whenever we go live, and you can get involved with the LFC transfer room and join the illustrious live chat and get involved in watch-alongs. It's good to see lots of new faces appearing in the live chat as well, such as Ali, Iwan, James, ICU Lucas, Alice Chapman, Daniel Hunter, Obo as well. Thank you all. If you do want to watch the game, I suggest you go on Twitter and search up what you're looking for, but keep us open on another tab, because why would you want unbiased commentary that could talk negatively about Liverpool or highly about Brentford? Stay here, and then we can just be purely biased in Liverpool's favour. We'll only talk about Liverpool because that's the club that we love and support. So the players are just about ready now, so we'll be kicking off in literally about a minute or two. So I will set the clock off when that happens, but obviously I'm wary that we are past 2 o'clock now, so I imagine I'm slightly behind. Craig Walker says, strongest team we can field. I think Jones is going to be vital today. Come on, Redmond. I think Jones, he came on with looking like he had a lot to prove against Arsenal, so hopefully he can carry that into today's game, get some more minutes in him. Portia, nice to see you. Hope you subscribe as well. Stay around for the game. Get involved in the comments. It's nice to have you here with us. So we're almost ready, so I'm just making sure that I strike the clock off as soon as my stream begins at the very least. But just before we kick off, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. You won't regret it. That's all right. You don't have to text. You can just subscribe and just watch. That's no problem at all. And just as I say that, my bloody stream's gone off as well. Oh, God. It's all right. We'll find it again. But let's have a good game today. Let us know your predictions. I haven't had too many predictions in the chat. Here we go. So the players take the knee. So I imagine I'm like a good couple of minutes behind. So if you are watching ahead of me, please don't spoil it. That'd be really, really appreciated. And away we go. We're off. Another game starts up. Alice Chapman fancies Virgil to score today. Well, he's due one. We haven't had a set-piece goal for a while. A lot of people complaining about how bad the set-pieces have been. But here's hoping. Today's a new day. We know that we're without the AFCON lot of Mane and Salah and Keita. We've experienced what that can look like in its worst form against Arsenal. And now these players have a chance to show that actually we don't need them as much as everyone thinks. We can still play our way and get a good result. Zuzena goes for 2-0 to LFC with both goals coming from Jota. Megan's 2 minutes ahead, but she has vowed to not spoil it. Thank you very much, Megan. That's very much appreciated. Q-Mars, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm having a good day, thank you. I hope you are as well. I'm excited for the game ahead. Hopefully it's better than the one in midweek. Matthias goes for a 3-1 with Bobby, Curtis Jones, and then Virgil getting on the score sheet. Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat. It'd be bloody good if we can keep a clean sheet, but personally, I do see them scoring at some point, just going off of our form recently. Carl, if you go on Twitter and search up the game, I'm sure you'll find something. Carter's going for a 2-2. Janlet is going to run the game and they will get a late equalizer. I hope you're wrong. We can't go 7 games with only 1 win, man. And that's why I've got the training kit back on again, because I feel like that brought us good luck in my first few watch-alongs. I feel like once I took it off, things started to go downhill. I don't particularly believe in that kind of stuff, but if it helps, who knows? Carl, thank you for the subscription. It's very much appreciated. And yeah, make sure that you get in the live chat if you feel confident and able to, and we can enjoy the game together. But if you prefer to watch and just watch, that's no problem as well. ICU Lucas goes for a 2-1 win. Goals from Fabinho and Jota. So obviously Fabinho back on the score sheet last week against Shrewsbury, and he could do with another goal after being part of that disappointing 0-0 draw. And we're already stopped here with the referee having problem with his communication box. Seems like there's a lot of that recently. I've seen that in a few games. Alice doesn't think we will concede today. Well, I admire the optimism. I feel like I've lost a little bit of that in recent weeks. Hopefully the team can restore my faith in them and hold out. So Tony's coming forward here, but it looks like they're offside. The ref had his flag up this time, but the ref let it play on until it went out, which is even weirder. Dean Smith. So this is the Liverpool training kit. I haven't got my shirt. I haven't got a shirt on underneath. Well, I've got a shirt, but not the Liverpool shirt. But yeah, I never have done actually. I've always worn this or just regular stuff. But when I've worn this, I feel like we've won every time. Zuzanu says, glad Jones is starting, deserves a chance and might give that creative spark in midfield. Well, that's what I was hoping, but it looks like he's playing on the left wing. I mean, maybe it's going to be quite fluid with him and Ox. And Jones actually earns us a free kick in the middle of the park, halfway inside Brentford's half. So we'll have a chance to put one into the box. Pint Shot Right says, what's wrong with football these days? The fact I have to use a TV channel from Thailand to watch this match is beyond ridiculous. I agree, but it allows us Liverpool fans from all over the world to come together on streams like this and watch it together. Carl, if you don't have a Twitter account, I'd recommend getting one and then literally just search up this game, and you'll find something, I'm sure. Dean, you're taking an awful interest in what I'm wearing. I've just got a regular dark blue Vans t-shirt underneath, but that's as much information as you're getting. Kemar says, well, I'm being honest, I'm impressed with Brentford this season. Yeah, I'm really happy for them. Like I went to a few of their games when they were back in League One. They're a nice community club, and it is bloody good to have them in the Prem. I went and saw they played, I think it was Yeovil Town in the League One playoffs a few years ago, and they lost that. But we've floated a ball in there, and it's just gone over the top of Firmino and Jota, who are in the middle waiting there. Yeah, it's a nice and weird feeling in equal measure. I'm hoping I've satisfied Dean with the answers I've given him, and he doesn't ask for more. So Firmino's in a foot race here, just loses out, and Brentford win the ball back. Leeds against West Ham, didn't expect that. Oh, Leeds are winning, bloody hell. I didn't expect that either. ICU Lucas. I thought West Ham would breeze that one, to be fair. And Hyla, I'm a big fan of the thinking organisation of Brentford, a very well-run club. Very impressive, the Moneyball Club of England. Well, it'll be interesting, what they can do in the next few years, because obviously we've been associated with that whole Moneyball thing. Maybe not recently, but it'll be interesting to see if they can use it to somehow break into the higher echelons of the Prem. I doubt it, but it would be an interesting little case study. Jota's, I've got a chance to get a ball in here, but instead it goes out for a corner. We're on exactly 8 minutes here. So if you are watching a little bit further ahead, feel free to pause your stream, but I know that can be a little bit iffy. So in the meantime, please do try not to post spoilers. If you're new here or you're back but you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do hit that button as well. It's always incredibly appreciated, and we'll be very glad to have you. Oh, the corners. It was a bit of a rough and tumble in there, and it's gone out for another corner by the looks of it. The sun is shining bright on the Brentford goal. It was hard to see exactly what was going on, and it was actually Virgil van Dijk who had a chance to get a shot off there. And it will be another corner for Robertson to swing out. And it's a good clearance. The true thing about that is, the best example of that, Sheffield United. I mean, they were fantastic in their first season and then just absolutely died later on. Trying to think of a couple of other examples as well. Leeds, obviously, but you never know. They might be able to stay up. It's always second season syndrome, I think. I think if you can survive the second season, and you're happy to invest, then maybe you stand a better chance. There's going to be a cross from Henderson here. It's a poor cross, but it falls nicely for Jota. It's blocked, and that should go out for another Liverpool corner. Matthias says that the Liverpool game is on telly in Zambia. I think it's on pretty much everywhere except England. When did our corners become so bad? I mean, I've noticed that as well. Watching the watch-alongs and always, saying, "Oh, we've got a corner now," and then the amount of times it just either misses us completely, hits the first man, and that one again is just done the same from Trent this time. It's so bizarre. Jota headers over the top of the bar, and Liverpool's more dominant in the opening 10 minutes. A bit more possession, a few more opportunities crafted. Nothing unbelievable just yet. Carter with a bit of a potentially divisional take here. Thoughts about summer I now wouldn't be against selling Salah and Mane to bring in 2 to 3 attackers, as long as at least one midfielder and a backup right back for Trent. I mean, I think that's great, but I think that just relies on Trent's in here. Oh, his shot is blocked. The problem with that is that even if we sell Salah and Mane and got good prices for them, I don't see us reinvesting all of it and bringing in 2 to 3 players. I think they'd either be quite cheap and not buy that many, or they'd buy one big one, but that would empty us out and mean that we can't properly equip ourselves for a full season. So I wouldn't sell Salah. I'll be honest with you. I will disagree with you on that one. Mane maybe, because it does feel like he's just on a decline now. It doesn't feel like he's just out of form. It feels like he's on the way down, unfortunately. I might be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Huddersfield, did they stay up? Did they stay up a season? I thought they went straight back down again. Oh, Fabinho's just missed a header. He was absolutely free in the 6-yard box. I think he must have been offside. And it was offside. Tarek says it costs much less to just give Salah's contract than to try and buy other players to replicate his status. Exactly, less money and less time as well, because no one will come in and just be at Salah's level. It would take time to get used to the system, time to develop, and we don't have to have one or the other, Salah or his replacement. We can have Salah and someone who we think can get up to his level to learn from him whilst we have him. Trent goes for a long shot and it's over the bar. Will be a goal kick to Brentford, but I think we're doing okay so far, creating a few openings. We're looking a little bit sharper with the pass, faster so far than against Arsenal. It's a good start so far, but as I said, nothing massive. And as we do approach the opening 15 minutes of this game, please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't done already. You won't regret it at all. We're here for every game, and we've got plenty of live and pre-recorded content coming out every single day about Liverpool, whether it's transfers, reviews, analysis, updates, anything you can think of, debates, and we love having you guys involved in those as well, like you are now in the live chat. Bloody hell, I do not remember that about Huddersfield at all. Yeah. Bit of the old Mandela effect, I think, on that one. I'm sure they just went straight back down again. They were like one of the worst teams in Premier League history. Well, I'm glad you're calm about it, Matthias. I think a lot of people are quite worried now that it still hasn't been announced. Hyler with the stats: 15 minutes, 65% possession to Liverpool, 4 shots, 1 on goal. There's a cross from Robertson on the floor that's easily cleared. ICU Lucas says, I also think this is peak Salah and can be sold at maybe £190 million. And that cash can be reinvested into new signings, just like the Coutinho sale. But with Salah, I don't see him tailing off within even the next 2 years. I think he's still got 3-4 years of top quality because he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. His body is an absolute temple. He's fast, but he's not completely reliant on his pace. And people always say he's not technically hasn't got great technical ability, which I just find bizarre. But he is a goal scorer, and you don't really lose that. So I think he'll be fine for a good few years at all. The thing is, I think we struggle to sell Salah if he doesn't sign a new contract because there's not going to be too many people who could afford him in the summer. Obviously, PSG are one of those clubs who could, but why would they do that if they could try and wait until he's got 6 months on his contract and then just sign him for free anyway, you know? Hyla says Salah's official marked value at the moment is £90 million. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can rely on those sorts of like transfer market things, because there's just too much context in there, and ultimately what a club wants for a player plays the biggest part. You know what's so odd for me? When we brought Taki, Klopp said we were tracking him for 2 years and he doesn't fit the way we play at all. We're insisting that we buy players who fit the profile. I think the hope with Taki was that he could be another false nine, because he's got that unbelievable pressing that we know Firmino's got. He's totally up for doing that for 90 minutes. And he's kind of got that. Well, when he was at Salzburg, he had those qualities of a Cam and a number 10 kind of thing as well. And he just seemed so versatile as well. Unfortunately, we just haven't seen it for whatever reason. Welshie, reports are Mbappe is negotiating a contract now, meaning Real Madrid will turn to Salah, who they previously wanted. They would pay for him. So really, it would be between them and PSG. We obviously would never sell it to a direct rival in the Prem. And it's a massive challenge there from Aya on Jota on the left-hand side of the Brentford box, just outside it. So we will get a chance to whip a free kick in here, and this needs to be a good delivery. It's a very good position to cause some uncertainty in the Brentford back line. Force the goalkeeper into a decision as well. So Trent is coming over. It's Trent and Robertson who stand over it. I'm not really sure who I'd prefer to take it, because their set pieces have been poor. Certainly in midweek. I think an in-swinger would be quite tough to keep away from the keeper. They both look like they could take it. It might be Trent. It is Trent. In-swinger for back post. Oh, Van Dijk can't get his head on it. And it's out for a goal kick. Carter, I don't want to say this, but Takumi Minamino is like the Kagawa and Mkhitaryan situation. He's clearly a good player, but can't compete physically in the Prem. Yeah, I wonder how much of that is true, because, you know, why can't they just bulk him up somehow? I know it's a delicate process, because you bulk up and you lose speed and athleticism as well. But if he is looking so weak, I mean, he's not a pacey player anyway. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. There's a long ball from Alisson, which Jota can't get hold of, and it goes all the way through to Brentford's keeper, who in turn hoofs it up. And Van Dijk's head is poor, and Mbueno's been put through here. His touch slows him down. Matip gets back and is able to get the block. Robertson finishes the clearance. That was poor from Van Dijk there. He had an easy header, or he could have just put it out, but instead tried to be too clever, and it just fell straight to a Brentford player. And now Liverpool have a chance to create something. Minamino's out on the right. Robertson puts in a high one. And Brentford are forced to put it out from a corner under no real pressure. So another chance here. an interesting conversation going on in the live chat about Minamino, so please do get involved in that if you have something to say. And also subscribe if you haven't done already. It's great to see so many people here, old and new faces, all of which are more than welcome here on the LFC transfer room as this corner comes in. Straight to the keeper, but he misses it. Van Dijk has a... oh, what a save! Oh! Got down low with his foot quickly. And that really should have been a... oh... He's put it... Van Dijk's shot puts it back to where the keeper was, which makes it a bit easier for him, but he didn't really have anywhere else to shoot. He was surrounded by bodies left, right, and centre. Welshie, I know. I never seem to be able to find the right stream that's in time. I am 2 minutes behind, so bear with me. If something good happens, I'll get there eventually. It's a big game for Henderson as well. A lot of people on his back, myself included, really. He was poor against Arsenal, but I think it's a really... his bad performances, I think, come from confidence as well, because his passes aren't coming off, and that's not like he's crap now, because obviously he can make those passes. I just think he's in just a bad run of form, which in turn lowers your confidence. It means he's not looking for the forward pass as much as he used to, especially against Arsenal, and his simple passes aren't coming off. So I think really he needs just a few games out of the starting lineup, but we haven't really got the options for that. If we had to pick between Milner and Henderson to start, I would take Henderson. So until we get Thiago back and Elliott back to get those options to rotate the midfield, Henderson will be forced to start. So we just hope in the meantime he can get into some sort of form. Maybe a goal or an assist can help that. I think he just needs to take some risks, try some forward balls over the top, which we know he can do. Liverpool playing it around the back a little bit tentatively. Matip's pass wasn't the best to Van Dijk, and he's forced to play it back to Alisson, who clears up field, but it goes out for a Brentford throw-in. So the chance for Van Dijk moments ago, our biggest so far. And we now got a slight chance to counter-attack. The ball's a little bit slow. Brentford are sort of back in position, but Trent fires one out to the right-hand side where Firmino's waiting. And as the ball is touched down, it's cleared again for a Liverpool corner. It feels like we get so many corners nowadays. We just have to start taking advantage of them. Well, that's what Thiago did. I know Thiago and Wijnaldum are very different players, but Thiago offers that calm coolness and is fairly decent defensively, but also has that attacking output in terms of ball progression, on the half turn, getting out of tricky situations, getting the ball forward, getting the ball out wide as well. Van Dijk gets another header, but it's very tame and straight at the keeper. So I don't think the case is needing to find a Genie replacement. I think it's in case of finding a Thiago backup, because as we've seen, Thiago is injured a lot of the time. Is it fatigue? We've looked a bit toothless in recent games. I think it's difficult to put it down to one thing, because obviously we had the Leeds game on Boxing Day called off. So we had a little bit of an extended break, a little bit of an extra break there. Obviously, the training ground was closed as well for 2 days, so whether that impacted them negatively, obviously because the Arsenal game got changed, so it could have just been a disruption. But I think AFCON has played a massive part as well, and Thiago being out, I think that's a big part of it. It's just sort of caused a lot of imbalance in the team, in the midfield particularly. The fact that Thiago's out and we don't have a similar player who can play that controlling role on the left-hand side of the midfield three is being shown in our results recently. It's a nice ball into the middle. Henderson tries to thread it through. It's cleared. Fabinho wins it back, and now it's with Curtis Jones. Henderson plays it to Robertson. He will look for the overlap. Doesn't get it. Back in the middle to Curtis. Fabinho plays out wide to Matip, who's found himself very far forward on the right-hand side. There's a poor pass from Alisson there. Matip manages to get out eventually. Now Henderson's driving forward with the ball. This is good from him. Jota loses control momentarily. Robertson could get a cross in, leaves it to Curtis Jones. Fabinho here on the edge of the box, out wide to the right. Oh, the ball from Trent just bounces. Not the way he intended it. Gets one out here. The keeper drops it, but it's outside of the area now. Curtis has a chance to play it with Robertson. Gets it back by the byline. Needs to work some space to get the ball into the box here. Does just that over the top. Oh, doesn't fall to one of ours. We've got numbers in the box, which is what you need when you're putting crosses in. But so far, we haven't managed to find our own players too often. And now we find the ball back at Alisson's feet. So 30 minutes in, 71% possession. Bloody hell. 7 shots on goal, 2 on target, which is much better. You know, we haven't had to wait until the 89th minute for a first shot on target. Matthias, come on, Liverpool. I want a perfect end to a good week, and I'm off of work next week to make it perfect for me. Please. We're all got our fingers crossed. We need a good result. I think Bowen might have scored in the West Ham game. If my sources could update me, I think that's what might have happened, or he's had a big miss or something. Just seen it go off in the group chat. I think with a lot of Liverpool's attacking at the moment, we're doing well around the edge of the box, but we're not really getting anything into the box. And, you know, that's where most goals come from. So until we figure out a way to do that, so it is West Ham 1, Leeds 1, Bowen the scorer. But I'm told the Leeds are dominating. Be interesting to see if that goal changes things. I want West Ham to do well, because the better they do, the less chance Man United have of sneaking into top 4, which would be funny. Alisson forced to come out of his box there, and he could have laid off a pass to Matip, but instead clears it and turns over possession. And Carter, that's a good point. That's kind of what I feel with a lot of the people that we're linked to. I think, well, Bowen, I'm on the fence for, because I feel like maybe we could turn him into something great. But with Adama Traore, I think he's the most mid signing that we could make. I don't think he's got it in him to get that much better. And at this point in Liverpool's journey, we shouldn't be signing players like that where we have to spend time improving them that much. Like, he's not even one of Wolves' best players this season. He mostly comes off the bench, which is all I'd see him doing for us in like the 80th minute to hold up the ball at the other end and play it in the corner flag kind of thing. I don't see him. Just don't see him becoming another like Salah or Mane for Liverpool. But maybe I'm wrong. It's a Brentford effort over the bar. And we win the ball back well in the middle of the park here. And Trent fires it, switching the play to Robertson, who can now drive forwards. Jota's found himself over on the left wing to assist. He's forced infield to Fabinho. Has Benitez not actually been sacked yet? Bloody hell. I thought he would have been gone yesterday night. It's just fantastic, isn't it? I fail to believe he's not doing it intentionally. You know, they're 5 points above the relegation places now, and they lost to Norwich. It's Agent Rafa at work. I get what you mean, Carter, and I take your point, but I just think if we're limited by FSG's ambitions or whatever transfer budget we've got, I'd rather not waste it on a fifth choice. We need players who can come in and make a difference. Oh! Firmino's header doesn't have the necessary pace on it to trouble the keeper, and it was just going wide of the bar anyway. Yeah, I just think we could do better for a little bit more expensive. Tarek, I feel bad for Rafa. Not entirely his fault what's happening at Everton. I'm sure he's... Well, I just like to think he's doing it on purpose, and I feel a lot better that way. Oh, Leeds have scored again. Bloody hell. 2-1 to them. Megan says, I'd hate to take Robbo out, but Tsimikas has shown some creativity when he's played. Do you think subbing him in second half could give a spark? The problem is Klopp is incredibly loyal, and it would be a bit of a sign. Oh my God, Tony's in here. No, it's blocked. It would be a bit of a sign that Robertson's creativity has not been that good. I agree with you. I think Tsimikas has done more than enough to warrant more games, but he just doesn't seem to be getting them at this moment. And Brentford is just having a good stint of possession around our box here, but it's been run out of play, and we will get it back. There's some Mbuemo. Kris, good to see you. I agree. I think everyone probably feels the same. We've created more, nothing massive apart from that Van Dijk chance, but it's a lot better. We haven't had to wait until the 89th minute for a shot on target, which is instantly 100 times better. But we do need a goal soon, I feel. And you're right, Drav. Robertson on corners has been dreadful for a while. And I think that is where Tsimikas is edging him out at the moment on current form, with his deliveries looking much better. We've got a chance to run it forward here. Oh, the ball from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain can't get through to Jota, and Jota would have been one-on-one with the keeper there. A massive chance goes begging, and if I had to name someone in the squad who wouldn't make that pass successfully, I would have said Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. If Curtis Jones was in that midfield position, he would have played that through. I hate being right. I hate being proved right, you know? And Henderson has a chance to just spray the ball around here. And Brentford, exactly as Klopp said, are now, 5 at the back. As you'd expect, it's not a bad thing, but everyone just got their knickers in twist about it. But this is another chance for these players to show that they can break down a low block. Sorry, it's a poor ball from Trent. Goes straight through to the keeper. Unfortunately. I hope you're wrong. I mean, it would almost be more deflating if this game finished 0-0 as well. We can't carry this on. These players have got to show something. But yeah, as the banner underneath me does say, Harvey Elliott will be returning. Will be returning to first team training this sometime next week. I feel like that means it's still another couple of weeks at least until he can really start to push for first team football again. So, I think a lot of people got excited the idea of him being back in January, but it's probably going to be February that we'll really see him. But that's back in time for Champions League. Oh, Tony's shot is just wide. Whew, thank God. Oh, was it a save? Alisson saved it. It's a Brentford corner. No, wait. Oh, they're in here. Robertson has to clear. Carter, we have to have Fab, Thiago, and Naby/Elliott against Milan if we want to give ourselves any chance. I think as long as it's Fabinho and Thiago, I think the right side of number 8 isn't as important. That's just how I feel. I think Henderson could do a job there as long as he's supported by those two, because Thiago has such an impact on the way we defend and the way we attack as well. So I wouldn't, as long as those two are in it, I wouldn't be fussed if it was Henderson who started as well. I don't want to rush Elliott back by any means. We'll be excited to have him as an option moving forward this season. He's a special player, exactly. It's good to see so much youth actually being trusted by Klopp this year. I know it's not always down to just purely giving them a chance. Sometimes it's necessary because of injuries, but seeing Morton continuously be so involved and Cade Gordon getting a start and getting such positive feedback from his manager as well, it's really exciting to see, and it feels like we'll be in good hands going forward as long as we're backed in the transfer market by FSG, which is the big question. Is there any update on the Thiago injury? They've been quite tight-lipped about it. Dan, I don't know if you've got anything about this, but I think they've been quite tight-lipped about it. It's not an end of season or a March thing. It should be soon, hopefully, but I don't know exactly what that means, so I won't say too much. I can't watch Henderson anymore. These last few years have killed me. I'm at the end of my tether. Years, really. He's been made mainly bad when he's played this season. Matip comes forward here, please. Joel Matip. Oh, saved. Deflected shot. Takes the momentum out of it. Oh, my God. It's going to happen. When it does, I'm going to lose my mind. Matip again just comes dribbling forward. He just breezes past players so easily. Gets the shot off, and it's deflected there, straight into the keeper's arms. So 41 minutes now. Still. Oh, Tony's forward here. He's onside. Plays it back. Oh, that's an important block. We can't lose this game. We cannot lose it. And if we go behind, I don't think we win it either. It was offside. Bloody hell. All of that. And it was offside anyway. Brentford away, 4-1-5 this season. 4 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. 12 goals scored, 12 conceded. Not a very good away team. Liverpool haven't lost at home all season. They should win this game. It's just a different tie, isn't it? You know, no Thiago and none of the AFCON boys either. That's a nice pass through here. And Firmino's got himself into a good position. Through to Jota. Goes for the shot. It's blocked. Henderson into Oxlade-Chamberlain's got to get a shot away here. It's deflected and it's through for a corner. Whew. That was a really good looking attack there. The balls were on point. A couple of shots deflected there, and Oxlade-Chamberlain finds himself in a fairly good position actually. A bit late getting the shot away, but it is for a corner. So Trent will float this one in. We need a good delivery. And what a way to end this first half that would be if we could get a good delivery and get a Liverpool player on the end of it. It's into the box. Fabinho. Yes! Come on! Fabinho scores from the back post. It takes a bounce through and Fabinho gets his head on it. It's not the strongest of headers, but it does enough. 3 goals. 3 goals in 3 games for Fabinho. It's a well-taken header. Not our most exciting goal, but what a welcome one it is. It's not the best corner. It takes a bounce, which Brentford will be really disappointed with, but it's another Trent assist, and he just has to tap it. The keeper's still on the other side of his goal. It's very slow to move across. And that is 1-0. Thank Christ for that. I saw you lot in the comments. I said no spoilers, and I saw you lot. I turned my head as soon as I saw it because I didn't want to believe it in case you were joking. Jordan, I'm talking about you, mate. None of them spoilers. Ali as well. But that's Trent's 10th assist. Hyler's my very own statistician here. This is brilliant. Thank you very much. 10th assist of the season for him. He looks like he's going to smash his previous record, which I think was 13 maybe. Although Liverpool lose the ball very needlessly on the edge of their own box here. But we keep it secure for a goal kick. And yeah, it's a very, very important time. Yeah, thank you, Tariq. But I agree. It's a brilliant time to take the lead just before half time. It changes the outlook of the game entirely. Means Brentford, and if they want to get something out of this game, they'll have to be a bit more forward thinking. And that plays into our hands as well as we come forward again here. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain holding it up. His ball to Trent's a bit poor and his cross is then blocked. Lucas, glad you enjoyed that one. Matthias, I knew anyway before because my mum messaged me. I think I saw it on the group chat as well. I just had to turn my phone over to make sure that I don't see it. 45 minutes, so 75% possession. There's 1 minute of added time, but we're almost at the end of that anyway. Stick around at halftime. We've got Kris coming on as soon as the halftime whistle goes, pretty much, to talk us through it. So let me know who your man of the half is so far. Anthony's gone for Joel Matip. Please do get involved with the comments. So that is half time. So I'll reset the clock. But a very, a much improved second half for Liverpool against a good team in Brentford. And like we've said, they had a lot to prove after the Arsenal game, which was a disappointment. Let me know your thoughts, and again, who you think our player of the half was. I'd probably agree as well. That Matip was very good. Fabinho as well, the goal scorer, he's been strong. But thank you to everybody who is in the chat. Please make sure that you do subscribe and that you stay around. We'll just have a little halftime chat. Kris is just about to come on now to discuss what we've seen so far. And I will keep on reading the comments as well. But we'll get Kris in here now. Kris, how are you doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Oh, hang on a sec. I just need to switch over. There we go. How did you find that first half then, Kris?
Interesting. I felt at times like Liverpool were banging on the door continually without necessarily having the right tools to get the door, to knock the door down, so to speak, which is interesting. How about yourself, Lewis?
I was much more. I mean, by no means the perfect half from Liverpool, but considering the drivel that we were subjected to in the Arsenal game on Thursday, it's a much bigger improvement. And I think it's important for a lot of these players as well. Like, they need to kind of show that they can win games without relying on Thiago, Salah, Mane. So, to get, I think now it must have been like 2 or 3 shots on target in the first half is a much bigger improvement. I think the biggest, in terms of the lineup, the biggest thing was Ox and Jones in, and opting for having Oxlade-Chamberlain playing the midfield 3. How do you think that that's worked out so far?
Well, from what I could see, Ox was playing right forward, but you might be right, of course. To be honest, Oxlade-Chamberlain looks a shadow of the man that he once was. I think that many people believe that to be true. Looks he's having a lot of confidence issues, and he looks like a lad who definitely relies on his confidence. And Henderson's drifting over to the right to create superiority. From that, Jones is doing a really good job. Jones is doing the classic Wijnaldum job of keeping the ball, keeping possession, keeping the ball moving, and so on. For me, this team's crying out for a centre forward. It's crying out for somebody who can stand in the middle as a reference point as everybody else moves around and basically get on the end of things. The big problem that I could see is that I feel like Klopp and Linders have planned so that when this happens, Divock Origi goes in. I think that's what they're planned for. Divock Origi is going to play centre forward for us this January, and he's just not there. God knows where he is.
Just typical, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that's one of the big problems we've got. Divock Origi would slot fantastic into this team because he'd be a fantastic reference point. And perhaps as a result of Divock Origi being sent forward, we'd see something different with Firmino. Maybe Firmino coming in front of 2 sitters, 2 pivots. But at the moment, it's all very good. And I noticed in the comments someone was talking about 75% possession, and this being great and everything. But Liverpool don't need that. Liverpool really want to get Brentford involved in a game. And now they've scored, there will be a game. Brentford will now play football. And that's essentially what Liverpool want. And that's great. But I don't see how can I say this? We see Liverpool seem to buy player after player after player who has everything but the ability to necessarily put the ball in the net again and again and again. And I think we might be seeing Jota reverting to norm after some fantastic form. Because if for example you have an XG of 10 a season and you score 12, the probability next season you're going to score 8. So I think we're seeing Jota revert to norm, and we're seeing some ideas along those lines. Oxlade-Chamberlain really doesn't have that many goals in him. Jones hasn't got many goals in him. Trent hasn't got many, and I can continue. So the point of the matter is that we look a bit toothless at times. We really look a bit toothless, in my opinion, of course.
Well, you said, I feel like that's where the balance needs to be struck, and is probably something that we've struggled with. You make the point that, we don't need the possession necessarily to play to our best, which I agree with, but that's where, this season in particular, our defending and closing out games hasn't been at its best by any means, especially in the game against Brentford earlier. So when it does become an open game, which I agree helps us in an attacking sense, we seem to struggle from a defensive sense in dealing with games like that. So now that we've got that lead, I wouldn't mind too much if we were able to carry on the way that we're doing in this first half. I prefer not to let Brentford's back into it too much, even though we could, in theory, hit them quite well on the counter-attack.
But now it makes sense. Now it makes sense, because now what will happen is if we continue to play possession football, they will at times counter in order to try and get that goal, and that will leave space on the other counter. We seen towards the end of the half, Chamberlain was carrying the ball, lovely little back heel, switched out to the other side. This is the type of thing that happens when the other team actually want to play football. But to get the other team to play football, you've got to score a goal. So it's this catch-22 thing. Personally, I would really love if we could stick someone, if we could swap, for example, Jota for Fabinho for a little bit, just to give Jota the centre forward role and make him harass the back line. But at the end of the day, as we say often in football in Spanish, lo que hay, which means, look, Klopp's got these players, he's got to try and get a tune out of them. And sometimes the tune isn't very enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just read through some of the comments. So it looks like Rafa Benitez, agent Rafa, has at last been sacked. I was surprised it didn't happen last night, but it looks like that decision has now been made. And I'm absolutely gutted. A little bit off topic from Liverpool, but he had to go, really, didn't he? There was no sustaining that.
I love Rafa Lewis. I love Rafa.
I love to think that he did it on purpose.
No, I mean, I'm just sad for the man. I mean, he's walked into a dressing room full of shite who can't play football very well, no matter who the manager is. And he's got rid of Digne because Digne was, quite frankly, all about me, apparently. A defender who couldn't defend but loved attacking. It's one of them for me where you just think to yourself, well, at the end of the day, was he ever going to win the round? Was he ever going to get Richarlison to stop thinking about himself and play for the team? Probably not. Was he going to get Tom Davies to play a fantastic midfield maestro role? I don't think so. So I think, to be honest, he went in, he had 2 million to spend. He spent it quite wisely, and he still got the boot because that club is rotten to the core.
A lot of people in the comments, hi Adam, good to see you again. But a lot of people highlighting that our goal did actually come from a corner, which in our most recent games have been pretty dreadful. And I think that's why a lot of people have called for Tsimikas to maybe start ahead of Robertson. But that's something that I'd like to sort of get your view on with deliveries. So many of them are hitting the first man and just going nowhere. Is that intentional? Is it, trying to, I don't know how to put it, like hit the needle in a haystack? Like you want to get that little nick off of the front man. I feel like that's what they go for, but
Yeah,
so often it can just be a slightly off par delivery and then it's easily cleared.
the probability of scoring a corner is extremely low. It's extremely low. That's firstly what to be remembered. Secondly, Liverpool have scored quite a lot of corners this year already.
Yeah.
So the same with Jota, we were performing above what we should have done in the corners. And then all of a sudden we stopped scoring goals. That's how probability works. That's how it works. If you have an average striker and he bangs in 10, you put him on the bench for the next couple of games because he's probably not scoring. Obviously, that's a joke. I'm not surprised. We've started hitting the first man and not doing so well. They are looking for the gap at the near post, really. Yeah. What they're trying to do is get that flick on. And that's a very, very difficult thing because what they'll be doing is they'll be trying to just get it over that first man into that space. And that's just about the player. Maybe the player goes through a bad set of form, and then he's not able to put that ball on a sixpence. And sometimes you should change the corner taker without doubt, but they will have done all of the statistics that we haven't to say Robertson usually gets it right. They won't be worrying about we'll offend him if we take the corners off him. No. They'll be saying, look, we've tried it all, and Robertson takes them because of this. If he's not that great, he's not that great, let's be honest. And Trent's not that great at set pieces at the moment either.
Yeah, no, dead balls certainly seem to be somewhat of an issue, but I get it. You're aiming for the first man, and there's a very small margin for error, but you could equally put it into the middle, and 99 times out of 100, one of their defenders will get a head on it anyway.
Who crossed the ball for the goal? I don't think it was Robertson.
No, that was Trent. So that was his 10th assist of the season. I'm being told by Hyler, my brilliant statistician, in the comments, which is brilliant. But second half, my stream is just about catching up now. 3 minutes past 3. I think we'll be getting underway shortly. So I will say goodbye to you now, Kris, but thank you very much for coming on. It's always greatly appreciated to have some company. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Right, lovely to see you, Lewis, and lovely to meet everybody in the comments. Some really interesting thoughts there.
Yeah, well, we'll I'm sure we'll catch up on another stream shortly, but we'll see you later.
Right. Take care.
So that was Kris. Brilliant. He's a coach living in Spain at the moment, and I'm sure if you listen to him there, you've heard that he has got a lot of interesting things to say. Football-wise, it's always great to hear. But we are now just about ready for kickoff in the second half. Liverpool 1-0 up after a Fabinho header. Whoopsie daisy. Just need to move my headphones back over to my laptop. But I'm feeling a lot more positive now that we've got that goal. We should see this, not see it out necessarily. I don't want to make it sound like it's going to be easy, but losing from here would be pretty bloody terrible. And the second half is now underway. So can we go on and extend our lead, make it a bit more comfortable? Let me know what your predictions are. Some players impressed. I'm still not very happy, satisfied with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I don't think he's been that influential or played that well in this first half. And what substitutions do we think will be made as well? I'd like to see Minamino come back on again. I think he deserves another chance. It would be nice to see Cade Gordon as well get an opportunity. Maybe take off Oxlade for him. I promise I don't have an agenda against him. I just not fond of him. Yeah, I agree. We need at least 2 more to say we feel comfortable. I think even if it's even at 2-0, it only takes a goal to suddenly make it a nervous end to the game. And this season especially, we haven't managed those situations too well. So if we can see it out, that would be brilliant. So I'm on 46. So my clock's just slightly fast. I'm on 46 minutes, 20 seconds here. Thank you, Anthony. See you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. But we are now back. So if you haven't done already and you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure that you do subscribe. There we go. So I think the stream that I'm on now isn't as far ahead as the other one was. So, but please, if you are ahead, lay off the spoilers. I had to give out a couple of warnings last time. But some of you I know are ahead and didn't. So thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. So we have Trent Alexander-Arnold out on the right. Henderson comes to the byline, gets a good cross in there, and Firmino's unlucky not to get to it, and it rolls through to the keeper. But again, just as the second half is in its early stages, just want to say thank you very much to everybody who is here and has been here throughout. It's really great community we've got going on here. And if anyone's new here and wants to be a part of a Liverpool community, please do subscribe, because we're in the early stages of building a really good one here. Trent miscontrols a ball and is forced then to clear it out for a Brentford throw-in inside their own half. I'm feeling much better about this. I know we're 1-0 up, but just our general play as well. Against Arsenal, it was so deflating. Like, I couldn't even feign interest in it. It was one of the most boring performances I've watched for a very long time. And that's in a semi-final as well. So hopefully, if we can win this game, it will give these players the confidence to go on and play with a little bit more expression and freedom at the Emirates Stadium and get us to that final. Just get us over the line to the final, and then, Thiago, Elliott, Salah and Mane can come back in and get us over the line in the final against Chelsea. And we just, it doesn't matter what competition it is. A final is a final. And I'll be absolutely thrilled if we get through to one. And that will be a great day on this channel, because you bet I'll be absolutely pissed on this live stream. And be great to have as many of you there as possible. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Sorry. Expectations for this season. So what I think we need to have a successful season is we need to come very, very close to the Champions League. Oh, Henderson's in the box, heads it back down. Brentford get it clear. We need to get very far. Oh, Fabinho with a bloody thunderbolt from outside the box, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. Right, stop interrupting me. Expectations. We need to get very, very far in the Champions League, if not win it. And we need to win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup to have a successful season. If we win both of those, I'll be very, very happy as well. But silverware is an absolute must this year, in whatever form it comes in. This team's good enough to be winning silverware year on year. And it doesn't have to be the Premier League. So Sergi Canos will be coming on, the former Liverpool player. Exactly, a trophy is a trophy. And, the Carabao Cup's just a nice thing to sort of add to your repertoire. And it's nice that it won't be Man City winning it again this year. Firmino's pressing here forward. Keeper does come out, though. Robertson's tackled to the floor before he can get a cross in, but it was judged to be a legal tackle at that. Oh, Trent does brilliantly. Or is that Curtis Jones? Goes for the strike, and it's a nice save. That's Curtis Jones wheeling and dealing down the left, cutting through the Brentford defence, and he cuts in on his favoured right foot and gets a nice strike away there. Well, West Ham have equalised. So it sounds like it's a very good game at the London Stadium. So West Ham coming from behind twice to draw level with Leeds United in their quest for top 4 football. And it's Pablo Fornals with the equaliser. Brilliant goals just come up on screen. They've got a very nice little squad, West Ham. I do like them. They're my dad's team, so I'm always following them as well. Who would you trust more if we didn't have our forwards, Origi or Taki? I mean, I want to say Taki because I love the man, but pure stats wise, it's got to be Origi. But I think he can just look so disinterested as well, whereas you just know that Taki's going to be giving you 110% all the time, even if there's no end product whatsoever. So that's an interesting question, actually, and I'm keen to hear what everybody in the chat thinks. Neil would go for Origi, and I feel like a lot of people would, because we just know what he's like in big games, in big moments. He will just come out of nowhere and create something for us. And that's a good ball into the middle from Brentford, but Alisson's out quick and up high. It looks like he's growing his hair out a little bit. He's got that centre parting going on. Just like in the year we won the Prem, maybe he's a bit superstitious. I know he's a pretty hardcore Christian by the sounds of it. And yeah, Matthias goes for Divock as well. I think Adam's going mainly for... I think he's saying both look better at the same team. Kemar says Taki. I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. And that's the approach I always take. But, there's only so many times we can give him that chance. And, this is a big month for him. I just hope he can miraculously prove that he's some sort of like worldie. But it is unlikely. So Alisson hoofs up the pitch. He's headed down to Andy Robertson. And Henderson with another unsuccessful pass there. Now Jota has it, running at the back line, out on the left side. His cross is deflected out for another corner. Tarek, thoughts on Robbo so far? A mate trying to tell me he's been our best player behind Fabinho. Look, I've got no problem with Robertson, and I don't think he's, finished or needs to necessarily be dropped for ages, although I think Tsimikas deserves his chance as well. But I think he's lying, your mate. He's trying to say he's been our best player behind Fabinho. It's not been that bloody good. Yeah, I think Matip comes way ahead of him. Curtis Jones as well has looked threatening. Things on a bit of a wind-up. And we're not allowing Brentford to build from the back here, forcing them to go long, which works in our favour as we are winning those balls that come forward. Oh, Jota almost in there, but he's blocked off, and the keeper comes out to collect. Just approaching the third. We'll be approaching the last third of the game on 60 minutes. So Brentford with possession here. It's through to Mbuemo. Beats Matip. Oh, it's just wide. Almost 1-1. Probably should have been 1-1 there. Liverpool carved open by Brentford. And Mbuemo puts it agonisingly wide for Brentford. And lucky for us, it remains 1-0. I think he was offside there. I think he would have been offside. And there's a nice forward ball there. And Firmino's free. It's Oxlade-Chamberlain. He takes a shot when he shouldn't have, really. Wild effort. And it's miles over the bar into row Z of the Kop. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure we all know a few people like that. Exactly. I've been saying this for weeks upon weeks, ever since I started doing these watch-alongs. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's just, a long shot merchant, but he doesn't score that many goals from long shots. Doesn't score many goals full stop. Matthias, I think that shot from Ox just landed on my back lawn. Bloody hell. Leeds now 3-2. Harrison with the goal. But Liverpool might have a chance to get a goal here. It's harried out for a Liverpool corner, which is obviously where we got our first goal for Fabinho in the first half after a Trent corner bounced in the 6-yard box under no pressure. And Fabinho was able to tap it home. But it's a cracking game shaping up at the London Stadium. Can West Ham find another goal and draw Leeds back once again? So there's a Harrison hat-trick, people are saying. So the corner comes in now. Nothing comes of it. Hits that first man again. But as frustrating as that is, it was interesting to hear Kris's take at half-time. And I do agree. It's a fine margin for error just looking to get it over that front man. To, trying to just get a little flick where it becomes completely unpredictable and you do stand a good chance of scoring if you get it right. And really, you're talking about as much success as just hoofing it into the middle of the box. You know, it is unlikely to score from a set piece, and we do need to remember that, as frustrating as it is when it continuously looks like it's just bouncing off the first man. Oh, and West Ham, poor defending there, completely left Harrison free on the right-hand side on a counter-attack, and he's kept cool. Jota might have a chance to shoot, but his shot is his last touch is poor. It's in the box. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, and Firmino's follow-up is saved easily as well. Off the post for Jota. He's done well to get his shot away there in the end. Almost looked like the chance had gone. And that really, you feel like that could have been game over there. Oh, so unlucky watching the replay of that. Now Leeds, bloody Brentford coming forwards here. It's a good job we weren't playing Leeds today. They would have given us a right game by the sounds of it. And we're playing better. Jota's ball. Oxlade-Chamberlain just can't quite get on the end of it. We do lose it there, but we are looking brighter when we get the chance to go forward. But this plays into what Kris is saying. Kris was saying, you know, Brentford need to come forward more, and that's much, much better for our style of football. It's just a case of, can we hold them out? Brentford coming forward here. Play a ball over to the left-hand side. Mbeumo. They might look to get a cross in, but it's gone back into the middle of the pitch and back to their defence. They play a ball over the top, but they will get it. Trent should have probably had that, to be honest, but it's offside. So we get the ball back again. So still no sign of any substitutions just yet. I would like to see Minamino given some minutes here. It'd be very sad if he can't even come on at this kind of moment in a game. Gordon as well. Would be nice to see him get a few minutes. Might even be able to create a chance. Feels like this game might suit him, being quite end-to-end. And Curtis Jones, like, he's harried Mbeumo into his own box. And Mbeumo just falls over under the pressure. And referees just always seem to give those ones, you know. Like, Jones isn't doing anything wrong. And Mbeumo just goes down. And the ref just kind of gives it out of courtesy. And it's, you know, not really sending out the right message there. Tarek says, it might be 100 yards in the wrong direction here, but I see Jones ending up the same type of player as Ox. No idea where to play him and never do well in any of these positions we decide to play him in. No, I think he's a centre mid. I really do. I think he's a left-sided 8. And I think he's got room to grow, whereas Ox, like, they might be at the same ability-wise at the moment, but I'd still put Curtis in front of him. But Curtis still has a lot of room to grow, whereas Ox is kind of at or near his ceiling. And yeah, well, she kind of emulates that as well. Whilst he's fit, he's got to be very much in and around the starting 11. But thank you very much to everybody who's still here and still watching. Please make sure you haven't subscribed if you haven't done already. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. Give this video a like as well. We will be live for the absolutely crucial game on Thursday night against Arsenal at the Emirates. Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg. A massive point. Jota's got a score here and it's saved. And it doesn't fall to Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was on the right. Maybe he could have squared it to him instead of going for the shot, but you would trust Jota to have that ball hitting the back of the net. He does fantastically well to make the space for himself there, but it's a good save, strong save. Very unlucky. He gets the height, but the keeper throws an arm up there when he goes down, and it is just about enough as well. A lot of people in the chat confused as to how Jota hasn't scored yet. He's had a couple of chances, and it's just unlucky. My stream's just gone off, so I'm frantically looking for another one. But there's a Brentford substitution, so hopefully that's enough time for me to find another one. There we go. So I'm on 68-39. Ball comes in. Oh, oh no. No. Oh, God. The man I've chapped nothing but pure shit about all game comes up with a goal on the back post from another beautiful cross into the corridor of uncertainty. I mean, good for him. But bloody hell. If I hadn't have said anything, he wouldn't have scored. So you can all thank me for that one. Literally, the minute we came live, I was chatting nothing but shit about him. And look what he's done there. It's Robertson this time with the assist. Who said he can't deliver a good ball? And that's a lovely header for Ox. And that is 2-0. So that should be comfortable. It should be comfortable from now. The way the game's gone, Brentford haven't been that bad. Exactly, Welshie. That's that's Ox starting right wing against bloody Arsenal now, isn't it? Where he'll absolutely ghost the game again and not do anything. And yeah, Ali is 2-0. And just as I say that, Brentford had a shot blocked, but now it looks like we could counter once again here. Just can't quite keep hold of the ball. But it's a welcome goal, nonetheless, from Oxlade-Chamberlain. Puts us in a very comfortable position now with just under 20 minutes to go. And this does feel like, it's a big game either way, but this feels like it's very important for those players on the pitch who I feel like had a lot to prove with the likes of Thiago, Salah and Mane missing, could they actually survive? And that's Oxlade that we know, a poor ball that should have got through to Trent, and it doesn't, which could have put him in for 3-0 there. But we've got a player down in the box now. I think that's Firmino. He looks in some discomfort. Oh, no, it's Oxlade-Chamberlain, sorry. He's just rolled his ankle by the looks of things. Hopefully that's not a bloody ligament gone or something. So Minamino is ready to come on now. Thank God for that. It's a beautiful sight. So I'm not sure how serious this one is for Ox. He's back up on his feet now. Maybe it was just a rolled ankle and nothing muscular's gone. I mean, Minamino needs the minutes far more than Kate does. You know, it would say an awful lot about Klopp's opinion on a lot of those players on the bench if Gordon comes on first. You can bring it. I'm sure he will. If it stays 2-0, he'll bring Cade on in the last 5 minutes or so. But you can't have him as the first substitution. It's just not. Just doesn't happen. You know. We've won it back well here. Fabinho will look to release Jones in the middle of the park. His ball falls to Robertson. Goes for the strike and it's blocked. And yeah, Matthias brings up again, it is Minamino's birthday today. So a birthday goal would be quite nice to see. So it will be Oxlade-Chamberlain who makes way. Hopefully that is nothing serious. Because at the end of the day, whatever you think about him, we do just need the numbers. So Minamino comes on. Come on, Minamino. Do something. Do something today. Make us all very happy. So Leeds now assert some dominance, and it is 4-2 to Leeds. Trent plays it down to Henderson and receives it straight back. Now Jota was looking to get the shot off at the edge of the box, but decides not to, and it's a poor cross from Andy Robertson there over everybody. So Jensen is going to come on for Brentford here as they look to roll the dice in the last 15 minutes. Curtis Jones, I think, has played very well today, and he needs to start against Arsenal purely on form, really. It looks like the midfielder with the most attacking endeavour and forward thinking. And we'll absolutely need that against Arsenal away from home. Adam, in terms of Bowen, not really. It's slowed down a lot. If there's going to be anything, it will obviously be in the summer, but nothing recently. Oh, so the goal's been disallowed for Leeds, so it's still 3-2. West Ham still in with a chance of getting something from the game. Trent's shot is just over the bar. Thank you again to everybody who's still here. We've had a very consistent number of people, so I can only assume that you've all decided to stick around for little old me, which is just lovely. But if not, that's fine, whatever. If you're just here for the commentary. 3-0. Minamino. It's an absolute cock-up from Brentford, and Minamino gets his birthday goal. Firmino almost passes it to him out of sympathy. And it's 3-0, just like that. That's Taki Minamino. That's the player. And he's been on the pitch, 3 minutes, and he's got a goal just like that. Unbelievable player. We're starting to see the talent that we knew he could be. So they decide to play it out here. Taki, obviously the man pressing, leads the charge. Firmino nicks it. Firmino just gives it back to Minamino, taps into a almost empty net. I mean, that is poor from Brentford. And that's 3-0, just like that. Happy birthday, Taki. Happy birthday from the LFC transfer room. That's nice to see Firmino and Taki smiling together there. That feels like that would be an interesting little partnership there. I like the look of that. Two absolute pressing machines working in tandem. Who knows? Who knows? Taki man of the match. Oh, well, a very good day for us. 3-0 with under 15 minutes to go there as I But this bears very well confidence-wise going into that crucial game. I mean, the thing is, Arsenal had to postpone their game today, and a lot of people might think that that's advantage them because they get extra days rest. But momentum is a much bigger thing, I feel like, and coming off the back of such a crap game to now go on and win this game against Brentford so comfortably with the same kind of players who are going to play on Thursday, I feel like that's advantage for us, really. And I do fancy us going into that second leg. I mean, it is brilliant, isn't it? No Salah and Mane, so you get goals from Fabinho, Ox, and Taki. And I mean, fair play, Brentford had a couple of chances, which they probably should have scored. But generally speaking, we've managed this game quite well. And yeah, Matthias, you get that great end to the week that you wanted and that we all wanted. So is it a seemingly happy Sunday unless something goes dramatically wrong here? And Anfield feels a bit more bouncy as well. And the crowd are singing about Rafa Benitez. So obviously they've heard about the sacking. And they're showing some solidarity for the former Liverpool manager. Robertson wins the ball back. Fabinho, the crowd are urging him to shoot, but he rightfully decides not to. And Jota gives the ball away there, trying to find Henderson down the right. And Cade Gordon looks like he's ready to come on. So that'll be his Premier League debut. And he gets a good 9-10 minutes here as Jota makes way for him. So that's good. Good to see. And again, shows more faith from Klopp in the academy. It's not just words. He genuinely sees that there is talent amongst these players. And that's very exciting for all of us to see. I must say, it's got to be the kit. I said I think it's my lucky kit. I'll have to wear this on Thursday because we haven't lost or dropped any points when I've worn this. I don't think so. Van Dijk almost gets caught out there, but for some reason there's a free kick against him. Be nice to get another goal or two. Really get everyone buzzing because a large part of the season feels like it's being decided this month, and Thursday is no exception. Our first chance at silverware, so we need everybody in tune. Oh, got another corner. Nice run from Henderson on the right. He hasn't been too bad. He's looked a little bit chirpier this game. I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows he hasn't been playing well. He's not oblivious to that fact. A corner comes to nothing, and Brentford get a free kick. Anyway, So again, thank you to everybody who is watching. If you are new and haven't done already, please make sure that you do subscribe. Oh, there's a long effort there from Curtis Jones, and the keeper was wise to it. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't done already. Greatly appreciated if you do. And we always look forward to having everybody in the live chat because we do a lot of live content, not just watch-alongs, but most nights as well. We'll either have some debates going on or some transfer news. And we love doing that live so that you guys can all get involved and ask your questions and share your opinions. So make sure you do subscribe for that. Trent will have a chance to get the ball in here. Oh, it's blocked again. I mean, Brentford haven't been that good. A lot of unneeded mistakes, especially for the first goal, the third goal, obviously. Not to say that they defended the first goal much better either. Well, I think, sorry, I keep on talking ahead, but I think Thursday will be a very interesting and big game. So I think I'll certainly be sat here on a watch along, hopefully with a lot of you guys as well, with a drink in hand. I feel like we'll need it. It could be a very stressful evening, so something to calm the nerves. So feel free to join in on that. And the best way to not forget, because I know it's easy to forget these things, just tick the bell button when you subscribe, or if you already subscribed, tick the bell button. And then when we go live, your phone or your device will tell you about it anyway. So you don't have to worry about remembering it. Come and join me for a drink on Thursday whilst we hope that Liverpool can progress through to a final, a major final this season in the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. Oh, won the ball back well here. Gordon. Oh, it's saved. I don't know if he was offside there. He might get another chance. Oh, he doesn't quite. It's blocked. The pass back is blocked. And that's so unlucky for Cade. I think he had a lot of time to think about that, and the pressure just got to him slightly. He's through again. That's got to be offside. Oh, and he's just missed anyway. That was offside. 2 chances in very quick succession there. No, sorry. That second one was Trent, but very, very close for Gordon. I think he just had too much time on that. Played through brilliantly. Just had too much time to think about it, and in the end, it would have been better served as a flash chance kind of thing. Probably would have served him better. You think 1v1s are easy and favour the attacker, but there's a lot that goes through your mind when you're running through one goal, and it can be very easy to buckle. And that's what's happened to the young in there. Arnold plays a brilliant cross ball over to the left-hand side, diagonal. Must have been 50, 55-yard ball there. So there's literally less than a minute of regular time remaining. There shouldn't be too much added time either. So please let me know in the live chat who your man of the match has been in this game. Liverpool coming forward again. Could have some more chances. Milner through to Minamino. Goes for the shot. It's blocked. I'd love a Minamino double. Bloody hell. That would be a dream. A dream's coming true. A birthday double. But please let me know who your man of the match has been in this game. Alisson, the coolest man in the pit on the pitch. Druv goes for Curtis Jones as his man of the match, which isn't a bad shout. He's looked very bright. Maybe not much. Oh my God. Brentford will probably get a shot off here, and it's blocked anyway. So there's 2 minutes of added time. So let me know your man of the match. Druv gone for Curtis Jones. Q Miles has gone for Curtis as well. So that's 2 votes to Curtis Jones. If you disagree, make sure you get it in the comments. Otherwise, we won't know. Adam's gone for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Tony's in. He'll have a chance to shoot, and it's straight at the keeper. Matty blindsided slightly there. Lost track of Tony. Just ran off his left shoulder. Tarek's gone for Fabinho. Another good shout as well. He's been very controlling in this game and very solid defensively. Matip as well, especially in the first half, did a lot to keep us in the game. And Liverpool content to just pass it around here. No particular emphasis on going for a fourth. With just 30 seconds to go, my stream has now frozen, but it's been a good game nonetheless. And it is full time, so we do finish the game. Liverpool 3, Brentford 0. We did manage to keep a clean sheet, which I didn't think we could do. The lads have proved me wrong there. Streaming them as it was a couple of times, but I managed to always find the next one quite quickly. But a lot of shouts for Curtis to get man of the match. Fabinho as well. Even Oxlade-Chamberlain done well at times, especially with his goal. But ultimately, this is a very good result, not just getting the 3 points in the league, but confidence boosting after that dreadful performance in midweek means that we go into the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final at the Emirates against Arsenal in much better spirits. We now know that we can play, we can score and create chances without Salah and Mane and Thiago in the team. A lot of players had good performances, built up their confidence, whereas Arsenal forced to postpone the North London derby today. So I feel like that's advantage to us. But all we can do is wait and see. Thank you very much for everybody who's been watching. If you haven't done already, I know I've gone about it a lot, but please do subscribe. We've got a lovely little community building here. Another vote for Fabinho to get man of the match as well. Thank you, Matthias, and see you later as well. But there'll be plenty of content between now and Thursday, but we will be live on Thursday. I will be here for the watch-along against Arsenal. So please make sure you're there to join me, keep me company, because I know it's going to be a horrible 90 minutes or maybe more. Who knows? This could go to extra time and penalties. But I've been Louis. Thank you very much for watching the LFC Transfer Room. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already. But we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.